I can feel it. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. I can feel it. Yeah. And you don't stop. Cause it's 1-8 on the undercover. Yeah, but we're not talking about 187 on the undercover. We're talking about 187 on a down low crackhead right now. It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. I got a few questions for you guys today. Let's go. First question is, how many crackheads went to jail? How many crackheads do you know that gets a pardon? Trump thinks Biden is corrupt. What do y'all think? He's been saying this since 2016. Said it in 2018. And here's a clip from him telling you guys what he thinks about our current president, Biden, the one who just let his son go, the one that said he wasn't gonna let him get off on the pardon. He was gonna let justice take its course, but he didn't do that. So let's go.
Put on things we can't verify.
You won't put it on because it's bad for Biden.
We can't put on things we can't verify.
Leslie, I don't have to discredit you.
That's what
You've discredited yourself.
You told me that.
Leslie, you've discredited yourself. When you say that you're not going to cover Biden, you're going to ask him what flavor ice cream he has, okay? Instead of why did Hunter get $3.5 million from Moscow? Instead of why is an energy company paying your son $183,000 a month or whatever they're paying him, and he has no experience in energy. You know, you discredit yourself. I don't have to discredit you.
So this is the corrupt part that he's talking about right here. The discrediting part right here.
Bannon and Rudy Giuliani.
The source is Steve Bannon and Rudy Giuliani. Can you believe that nonsense? And
that's what you told. Put on things we can't verify.
You won't put it on because it's bad for Biden.
We can't put on things we can't verify.
Leslie, I don't have to discredit you.
That's what
You've discredited yourself.
You told me that.
Leslie, you've discredited yourself. When you say that you're not going to cover Biden, you're going to ask him what flavor ice cream he has, okay? Instead of why did Hunter get $3.5 million from Moscow? Instead of why is an energy company paying your son $183,000 a month or whatever that.
$183,000 a month? I know people that don't get that in a whole lifetime. Y'all feeling sorry for Biden and y'all feeling sorry for Hunter? Are you crazy? The stuff that we gotta go through out here to make $30,000, $25,000, $27,000?
They're paying him, and he has no experience in energy. You know, you discredit yourself. I don't
put on things we can't verify.
You won't put it on because it's bad for Biden.
We can't put on things we can't verify.
Leslie, I don't have to discredit you.
That's what
You've discredited yourself.
You told me that.
Leslie, you've discredited yourself. When you say that you're not going to cover Biden, you're going to ask him what flavor ice cream he has, okay? Instead of why did Hunter get $3.5 million from Moscow? Instead of why is an energy company paying your son $183,000 a month or whatever they're paying him, and he has no experience in energy. You know, you discredit yourself. I don't know.
He don't have to discredit you. You guys want to beat up on Trump, say how corrupt he was and the stuff that he's doing. When you got the president that's in right now, his own son is a crackhead. He is a crackhead, period.
After wielding presidential power to protect his son, Hunter Biden, from a potential prison sentence with a full and unconditional pardon. Tonight, President Biden is facing sharp criticism from Democrats and Republicans, even as some express sympathy for Joe Biden, the father.
Yeah, but I got to be honest with you. Let me put this straight down the line. If it was Trump's son, he would have let him off. Somebody said that yesterday in yesterday's comments. He would have also let his son off had his son did the same thing. Yeah, he would have had his son, he would have let his son off. If his son would have did the same thing, he definitely would have pardoned his son. If that would have been Barron or Eric or any one of those Trumps, gotta be honest, he would have let him go. But the fact that the part I don't like about it is, why lie about it? Why say that you're not gonna pardon your son, then you wind up pardoning him? And then all of the other people that you were instrumental with and put it in jail for so many years, hundreds of years. There's still people in jail right now that have been locked up because of this man right here. With the act that he put through with the drug lords and stuff of that nature. There's still people locked up to this day.
If it was my son, I'd pardon him too. But here's what I didn't like. Don't lie to us. Don't tell us you're not going to do it and then do it.
Arizona Congressman, Democrat Greg Stanton.
I'm pretty angry because it's going to be incredibly important that political leaders of both parties stand up for the independence of the Department of Justice.
President Biden and White House officials repeatedly insisted there would be no pardon.
I said I abide by the jury decision, and I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
We've been asked that question multiple times. Our answer stands, which is no.
Tonight on a 3-day visit to Africa.
So this is the crazy part. How many times are you going to say no to something and then do it? You said you wasn't going to pull out of being the president, and you did it. Said you wasn't going to pull out of Afghanistan, you did that. You said you wasn't going to pardon your son, you did that. How much other stuff that we don't know, or that we don't know about, that you lied and kept to yourself, Joe? Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you today. I'm busting off today. I'm not playing. I'm not holding no prisoners, because the bottom line is he lied. I don't care about no specific party or what anybody has a problem with. He lied.
The president did not respond to reporters' questions.
Mr. President, will you answer a few questions?
But at a White House Christmas event, First Lady Jill Biden expressed her support for the pardon. The pardon was first reported by NBC News Sunday night, and shortly thereafter, President Biden explained his grant of clemency in a statement. The president asserted, "I have watched my son being selectively and unfairly prosecuted." The pardon is sweeping, covering not only his son's felony convictions on firearms charges and tax evasion, where he faced potential prison time at sentencing this month, but the president provided more.
So he's trying to say, I had to get my son out of there because they're weaponizing the system against him because I'm the president. Kind of the same thing that you were doing to Donald Trump, huh? So where are the Democrats right now? What are y'all thinking? Do y'all think that this is okay for him to do something like this? Is it okay for him to just go in there and say, you know what, it's my son. I'll clean it up, What you guys think about that? And he was convicted already, and he got the nerve to be talking about Donald Trump being a convicted felon. Come on.
Than a decade of blanket protection, preventing further federal prosecution for any offenses dating back to January 2014, months before the younger Biden joined the board of a Ukrainian energy company while his father was vice president.
Same information that Trump was saying in the beginning about the corruption, accepting money, and being on the head of an energy company making, $130,000 every week? Straight corruption. And could it be, I'm just asking a question, could it be that the money was going somewhere else? And that's why right now he making sure his son is straight and also blanketing these situations and making sure it covers all the way to 2014? Back to 2014?
Blaming a heated environment, the president argued that raw politics has infected this process. He invoked his son's recovery from addiction. There's been an effort to break Hunter, who has been 5.5 years sober, and claimed his political adversaries could pose future risk to his family, writing, "In trying to break Hunter, they've tried to break me, and there's no reason to believe it will stop here. Enough is enough."
And Kelly,
So he got some really good writers on that script, boy. Whoever wrote that script, they're good. And that's the thing about writers. If you're a good writer, you can write your way out of anything. Somebody can, in a movie, you could bring them back. In the next movie, they were reanimated because a piece of their blood got shocked by a bolt of lightning that had alien kryptonite on it, and it touched the blood, and it made him come back to life even stronger. Come on, man. Good writers ain't no joke. I'm telling y'all right now. How y'all doing? You're not saying the information right. They had a committee, a Republican community looking into it 44 years, and they couldn't find anything. What? MC, what are you talking about? MC, elaborate. We're listening. We're listening, MC. He's not breaking any law. He has the right as president to pardon whoever he wants. He does. MC says it's okay because he has the right to pardon whoever he wants. MC, you're right, but the question is, why isn't he pardoned anybody else? Or anybody else that was a crackhead that made a mistake? If they're trying to say, because of his substance abuse and because of how much he went through, we need to pardon him. There's a bunch of crackheads out here that should be pardoned. My homeboy Chibuki, he a beast. He know how to fix cars and all that. He went into the store to try to steal something. He locked up, and it wasn't like something cheap under $1,000 or whatever like that. But he's locked up. Chibuki's a crackhead. He was under the influence. So I don't know what y'all think about that, but to be honest with you, I have a lot on the topic because I just don't think it's fair. When it comes down to, especially when you got people in the White House that have been, covering this up for the longest time.
Sunday night in America, even though he said he would not, President Biden has issued a broad pardon for his son Hunter. Hunter Biden has been convicted of gun and tax charges, and that was with Merrick Garland running DOJ. Who knows what would have happened with a less friendly face at the top of the prosecution pyramid? But we won't ever know because the pardon is so expansive. In other legal news, President-elect Donald Trump has named Kash Patel as the new head of the FBI, which means current director Chris Wray
I'm not going to dispute it with you guys.
I'm
not going to dispute it because the fact of the matter is, if that was my son, if it was Eric Jr., I'm not going to let my son stay in jail. You wouldn't either. Nobody would. So don't even front like you would. But what I'm trying to say is, don't lie. And then not only that, but he waited until a certain time to do it. He didn't come right out and say it. He out of nowhere, he decided that he wanted to do it. Which, it's all fair because it's your son. But come on, man. Come on.
You have said repeatedly yourself since the election, the president has said for months, no pardon was coming. I wanted to ask you, could those statements now be seen as lies from the American people? Is there really a credibility issue here given now this announcement?
First of all, one of the things that the president always believes is to be truthful to the American people. That is something that he always truly believes. And if you see the end of his, I assume that you've read his statement, and you look at the end of that statement, and he actually says that in the first line in the last paragraph, and respects the thinking and how the American people will actually see this in his decision making. And I would encourage everyone to read in full the president's statement. I think he lays out his thought process. He lays out how he came to this.
What thought process? Can he think? I just saw the president of Africa trying to walk, and he was going all the wrong way. The president had to steer him in the direction he had to go in. That's embarrassing for the country. It's embarrassing. Stop trying to defend this person, man. It's crazy.
Decision. He came to this decision this weekend, so let's be very clear about that. He says it himself. It's in his voice. He said he came to this decision this weekend, and he said he wrestled with this, and because he believes in the justice system, but he also believes that the war politics infected the process and led to a miscarriage of justice.
A miscarriage of justice. Okay, so that's what he's feeling. So we're going to leave that alone. That's enough. We done covered that enough. I feel that we done dove into that, and, bottom line is, it is what it is, and people with power, they're going to do what they want to do. That's it. They're going to do what they want to do. Today, I do want to honor the memory of Eminem's mom. God bless. R.I.P. Debbie Nelson, Debbie Mathers. She died today at 69 years of age of complications from cancer. There's been a long-going dispute, as we all know, between Eminem and his mom. He's made songs about her and everything, and you know their relationship was quite rocky. I just want to say, in a small conversation. They had a rocky relationship. As you guys know, we made a song called Cleaning Out My Closet. I'm sorry, mama. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry. But tonight, I'm cleaning out my closet. Well, it seems like they had a real long-standing dispute where there were years going by. It was one time where he said it was 3 or 4 years where they hadn't even spoke. And she actually had to sue him because of the song and because of everything that, that went along with the fact that, she was getting a lot of backlash from the song. There were people throwing things at her at one point. There were people like actually throwing trash at her as she was walking. This is a article from Rolling Stone about Eminem's mom, Debbie Nelson, who died at 69. The rapper had a complicated relationship with his mother, who was a frequent target in music, though also receiving an in-song apology years later. So yes, even though he did make the song about his mom, he also made another song about her years later where he retracted a lot of stuff. He apologized and he did say that he loved her, which I think was cool. I'm going to tell you guys now, I don't know if you have a loved one, and I had to understand this. Everybody's mom is not a nice lady. She's not the smartest. She's not the brightest. She's not the strongest. And sometimes, when you're new, when you're a mom, this is the first time doing something, raising kids and raising people. It's not an easy task. So whereas you might be thinking that you're doing something right, the children take it in a different way, as well as you could not be doing it the right way. I mean, there's so many aspects of raising and rearing children. So I have to say that because I didn't come up in the best childhood. We weren't rich. We didn't have the best of everything. We were on cheese lines and stuff like that, but my mother did show us love. What I do remember and what I do notice that in 8 Mile, Eminem definitely showed Sharon, I don't know if that was Sharon Stone. I'm sorry, I don't know who actually played his mom in the movie. But he did show that she had a compassionate side and she was very, she looked out for him and bust her butt to make money and do whatever she had to do to take care of them. That's one thing she held steadfast to in this article right here, as well as what he portrayed in the movie about his mother. He also said that he loved her, and she also said that she loved him. I'm saying this to you because I went through arguments and bad situations with my mom before she passed. The best thing that ever happened was we straightened out the situation before she passed, and it made us better people, and it made for phenomenal older age with us growing before she did pass. It was only a small amount of time that we had gripes or anything anyway. It wasn't like we had a big fight or anything, but just little spats here and there. Let me get a little bit of this out if you guys want to stick around, because I did really like this article, the way that it was written and what she had said. This is a picture of Eminem's mother, Debbie Nelson, outside of her home in Detroit in 2005. If you notice, she's got a nice little husky over there. My bad. I think that's a husky or a Nikita. I'm not sure. I really want to give her props. I really want to show her love because she made one of the dopest rappers in the world. Not only that, but I could almost feel her pain because there's nothing like losing a son, and money can never outweigh the love that you could have for a mother, ever. Eminem's mother, Debbie Nelson, with whom the rapper had a complicated, often contentious relationship, has died at 69. Her death has been confirmed to Rolling Stone. The cause of death was not immediately available, but as of now, we know it was complications for cancer. Nelson gave birth to Eminem, real name Marshall Mathers, Mathers, her eldest son, on October 1972 when he was 18. Eminem said that she married his father, Bruce Mathers, when she was 15 and he was 15, that the couple spent several years playing in a band together called Daddy Warbucks. Not long after Eminem was born, Bruce left the family and Nelson raised the rapper and his half-brother, Nathan, largely on her own. They shuttled around Michigan and Missouri for years before finally settling in Detroit. Now, if anybody can understand from this part, she's already left her husband, she's by herself, and now she's got two boys that she's trying to scramble and take care of, shuffling around Michigan and Missouri for years before she finally settled in Detroit. That's how I look at this. While Nelson maintained she provided financial and emotional support for her son, Eminem said that in a 1999 story that he fought constantly, he accused her of stealing his paychecks, frequently kicking him out of the house, and popping pills and taking other, which was triggering mood swings. But she denied ever doing the D. He actually made something, it was a comment in one of his songs that I'm not going to recite right there. And despite the legal battles, when she did sue him, she only made $25,000 after she sued him for $10 million for the defamation for the song "My Name Is," where she said where he said that bad line. Despite the legal battle, Eminem continued to write scathing bars about her in a couple of other songs. She actually fought back and wrote a song about him. There's an actual diss track from Debbie Mathers. It's called "Dear Marshall." You guys might want to check that out because it is on YouTube. It's called "Dear Marshall" and it's by his mom. But I mean, if you want to go back and see how things were before it got better. Then in 2028, she publicly did a tell-all book. It's called "My Son Marshall." I'm going to skip a lot of this stuff. It's a tell-all. She was heartbroken. She said the lies started coming in thick and fast, and not from Marshall. She said he's forgotten the good times we had, and this book is my way of setting the record straight. While the exact nature of Eminem's relationship with his mother in recent years is unknown, there were some signs that tensions between the two had eased in 2013 song "Headlights." Eminem apologized to Nelson, expressing regrets over cleaning out my closet. That song no longer plays at shows, and I cringe every time it's on the radio. That's what he said. I love that. Because the one day will remain estranged, and I hate it though, because you ain't even got a witness to your he said this. Because to this day, we remain estranged. And I hate it though. Because you ain't even get to witness your grandbabies grow. So he hates the fact that they weren't able to come together. Most recently in 2022, she celebrated the introduction of his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She didn't go to the ceremony, but she definitely tweeted on Twitter. And she said, "I want to say I could not let this day go by without congratulating you on your introduction into the Hall of Fame. I love you very much. I knew you'd get there. It's been a long ride, and I'm very proud of you." That is something that I just thought that we needed to know and needed to see and understand about his mom, because everybody not perfect, but you only get one mama. You only get one. You only get one. And I mean that because, that's how life is. This is a scene in one of his videos. I want you guys to notice what he did in this scene of this video. He was going through it. He was stressed out. You guys might know this video. Basically gets up. He's talking. He's thinking about how Christmas was, how holidays were. She actually pulls into the community. Security tries to tell her no. As he's leaving out, what does he do? He jumps out. He gives his mom a hug. It's the best part of the whole video to me. I feel love in this. I feel this is fantastic. I think that this, even if it's not her, it's his way of telling her I forgive you and I love you and you still my mother. This is beautiful right here to me. This is beautiful. I love this. I love this scene right here. There's always, there's a meaning in this scene right here. And that was his way of telling his mother that he loved her. She came up to the gate of the community. He got out the car and he went over to her. My mama ain't gonna stand outside, that's my mother. And he said that. So I just want to leave you guys on that note. Beautiful note, knowing that at the end of it, they did know that one another loved each other, because money isn't everything and love conquers all. It's your boy BOOGOTTINYC, and like I always tell you, could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. Please, we got 24 more people before we reach the 20,000 subscribers mark. I appreciate you guys. Till the next time, check out the website, www.drinkbigdrip.com. Raspberry, grape, lemon, 14% alcohol by volume. Go pick up some merch. Puff print sweatshirt. This is the Oktoberfest sweatshirt. We show love on this one. This is the one that we did for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. See you guys tomorrow. Like I always say, you could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. Get 'em! 1.